Back with you in Vancouver as After Hours continues. Pleased to have on the witness stand now Nikita Zadorov. RussiaUkraine. Pozdravляю.
Thank you. Your Russian's pretty good.
What I said was good game, congratulations, and that's it for my Russian. So let's do the rest of this in English. Start with a game tonight in which you faced a team you're trying to hold off for first in the conference, and you had the measure of them, Dave.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys controlled every facet of the game. I won't ask you if that was the best game that your team has played this season, but it was a pretty complete effort from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a good first period. That was important. Honestly, they were on the back-to-back, so it was important for us to jump and play hard right away, stay physical, and I mean, our goalies made a couple good saves for us, and our top guys scored some goals, so that was the difference in the game.
So, Nikita, you brought some grit to the Canucks when they got you in trade from Calgary in November. First of all, the trade wasn't a surprise. You had asked for it, right?
Well, I mean, it was mutual interest. I feel like it didn't work out in Calgary. I wanted to stay, wanted to re-sign, and nobody won't offer me any deals there, so I feel like it was time to move on.
Okay, the grit I mentioned, a lot of it comes in the form of big hits, and we'll see some here. These, as they should be because of your size and mobility, are punishing hits. Dave?
I mean, is the responsibility on yourself as a bigger guy out there to adjust in hitting smaller guys, or, you know, the guys that you hit, you're playing through them, it's up to them to kind of protect themselves a little bit?
No, I would say it's specific skill set, you know. I feel like I've been doing that my whole life. I've been working on it to be a clean player. I've always been a clean player until this year, you know. That was my first suspension. Unfortunately, I knew that was going to happen at some day. You know, like it's when you're such a physical player, you make those hits, you know, sometimes you're going to mistime it or mishit it. So that's what happened. I mean, overall, I'm trying to be super fair and then clean most of the times. You know, I think it's a part of my game. I think that's why this ownership and this management brought me in here. That's what I want to see from me.
You faced a player tonight whom you laid out back in 2017 when you were with Colorado. So take us through this devastating hit on Mark Scheifele. This was the hit, by the way, that you say made you famous.
I think that was, yeah, maybe that's when I was trying to make my name in NHL, you know, fresh from Buffalo, kind of my third year in the league. And I mean, it was 4-on-4. I saw Dutchy was tracking him back, so I knew I kind of just had to pick the perfect timing in there, and I saw him having a head down looking for a next play. You know, I feel like he wasn't expecting the hit over there. That's what happened pretty much. And, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Kempner Canucks asks, Nikita, do you find enjoyment when you just finish leveling an opponent and their teammates want to drop the gloves, but realize that and they think twice?
Well, I mean, I've been getting challenged in my career enough times, you know. I mean, I understand where the guys are coming from, wanted to fight, because I think hit can change the game really like a goal. I think it's a game-changing play. It could be get you guys going. It could, emotional-wise for all the team, I think it's pretty hard when one of your top players getting hit. I think it's that's when you stop thinking about making plays. You're trying to run around. So I think it's really important in specific areas and specific timings when you make those hits. And I mean, I've never been afraid of anybody in my career. I a little bit disagree about fighting after clean hits. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how we want to keep it in the game. That's how we want to. I mean, that's why the fans paying to see that, you know, from my side. So it's tough. I mean, I'm okay to challenges, but long as it's a clean challenges and it's a mutual interest.
Sometimes those hits can go wrong, and you just mentioned a suspension. You got 2 games for one that did go wrong, the hit on Lucas Raymond of Detroit. Dave? Yeah,
I mean, you could have taken the easy way out, as we see the hit here, and you talk about sometimes mistiming something, but instead of saying, oh, you know, he embellished it or this went wrong and that, you said, yeah, I missed my hit, and it's a 2-game suspension, and I can live with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a conversation I had with George on the phone. I mean, I had one hearing before that. It was in the playoffs, Game 6 against Dallas when I hit Glendaling. So I think I had a conversation there with George, and I said, listen, that was impossible for me to avoid the head contact and Glendeling, and he agreed with me, and he let me go and let me play Game 7. And this one, I told him straight up, I'm like, George, yeah, I missed him. You see it. Obviously, he's a smaller guy, and it's hard for me, but I totally mistimed it, and I take all responsibility.
And that is that got you some credit, because most players would have argued about posture, etc., and tried to talk their way out of it. So good on you. Speaking of Detroit, Jacob Walman and the Griddy. When he scored on a penalty shot in OT, when you do the Griddy, you tap your feet while swinging your arms back and forth, and you really got to admit, Nikita, Walman's Griddy was pretty good, right?
No, I mean, I think that's disrespect to the team. Personally, I mean, we beat them next game.
Yeah, no,
that's all that matters.
I get your point about it being disrespectful, but the Griddy itself, just looking at that alone, wasn't bad.
I don't even know where it came from. What is the Griddy? Like,
okay, well
like,
then,
I don't play video games, you know.
All right, it came from college football,
yeah.
And then you get Detroit here, and it's time for some payback. So your Griddy may have sent a message, but it didn't really compare him. It's more of a shimmy, right?
Well, I mean, I was just trying to show them the scoreboard and tell them there's no time to dance right now.
Is that what you said to them?
Pretty much.
Okay. That's pretty good. We're trying to figure out what the back and forth was, if they were giving it to you and you're like, I can do this.
Well, there's a lot of stuff you guys don't hear on the mics, right? You wish all the hockey players would be mic'd up. That would be so much interesting for the game.
Most of it, as we know, is not fit for public consumption.
We would have to beep all of them, right?
Wiley Canuck asks, Zadorov, a.k.a. Zaddy, we've heard you're the locker room DJ. What are your go-to tunes?
It depends. I mean, I've been doing that since Colorado. Guys been trusting into me. I mean, I'm take pretty good responsibility. I'm asking guys what they want to listen, so it depends on the crowd. You know, we had a little bit older team in Calgary, so I was playing a lot of rock, hard rock, classic rock. In here, the guys don't really like too much electronic music, so I'm trying to play some old school rap or new rap, so it depends. It depends on the mood, depends on the city too. I'm kind of matching up, you know, like we were in LA, play some Tupac, some West Coast stuff. When we're in New York, I play some Nas. So it depends. I kind of try to get a feel from the guys what they need today.
Wide selection. So we've talked about your physicality. We shouldn't forget that you also bring some offense. There was that hat trick April 13th or April 12th, I think it was, last year. The Calgary Flames' final game of the regular season. This was your first career hat trick. This leads to this question. This is your 11th year in the NHL. Do you think you have reached your potential?
No, not even close, I think. I got, I'm progressing every year for past 3-4 years, you know, when I start getting really good coaching and I kind of start maturing a little bit more and listen to them. So it haven't happened at the start of my career, but now, like, I had Daryl, I had Ryan Husk, now I have Talk, and they've been unbelievable to me with all those details to become a great defenseman in this league. So I think I still have a lot of potential to go, for sure.
You and Alexandra have two beautiful daughters, Stephanie and Sophie. Assume the family is here now and settled in Vancouver and comfortable?
Yeah, they love it. My wife loves it here. Kids going to schools. It's a great place to raise the family, for sure.
So do you feel fortunate to be able to raise your family in North America?
Yeah, I mean, my kids are Americans. You know, they were born here. Probably their English is going to be better than Russian in a couple of years, so for sure. And that's where we want to spend our time after the retirement too. We like North America. We've been here for most of our lives, so it's enjoyable for sure.
So that takes us to your outspoken views on the Russia-Ukraine war. This is the first thing we see on your Instagram account. Most Russian players have been reluctant to comment on the war. You've shown no such reluctance. Why have you been so outspoken in your opposition to the war?
I mean, I've always been a straightforward person. You know, I've never been afraid of my voice. So I thought at that time it was super important for me to speak out and show the support to Ukrainian people. I know there's a lot of big boy stuff going on and big boy games up top and governments and all that stuff. But maybe I will get interesting after the hockey. But so far, I mean, I think like us, we have a platform, and for Russian player, it was important to speak out and then say I'm supporting the Ukrainian people in this particular conflict, for sure.
Dave.
With that, was there any hesitation whatsoever to make a comment? And did you filter through that maybe some family might come into some harm? Is that through the thought process as well?
Well, it was in my head for sure. I mean, it's not only the Post. I had a big interview with one of the biggest Russian journalists this summer, and it came out, and there was more about that. He asked me some sensitive questions for sure. So I was for sure talking to my parents, talked to my agent before that, talked to my wife, and decided what to do. So I thought, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's my words. You know, it's not my family's words. So whoever is gonna suffer from it, it's me, right? So I think it's pretty fair.
K.A. asks, let's move on now. K.A. asks, is the Russian Rocket your favorite player of all time, Pavel Bure?
No.
Who is?
I don't know. I never liked Russian players. I liked Steve Yzerman when I was growing up. So I was Red Wings fan, obviously Russian 5. But growing up, it was Steve Yzerman and Derek McCarty. Those two guys I would love to watch.
Oh.
I don't know. McCarty was just fun in those playoff series against Colorado and all that. You know, it's funny. I got Foodie as the head coach, right? Oh, the assistant coach. So he tells me all the stories about all those rivalries. So it's funny. But, yeah.
All right, let's get to fashion, where you certainly register. Your suit game is one of the best in the NHL, and we see it in those standard walk-in shots. You look, shall we say, well put together. And so Rutherford's multi-year extension, that's the handle here, asks, does Zadorov have a stylist who helps him dress so sharply, or is his style completely his own?
Well, I have a good tailor who helps me pick all my stuff, but most of it's me or my wife. We kind of go through the materials what we want to take. I don't think it's one of the best. I think it's the best in the league.
That's tonight, by the way.
Yeah, so I like to mix it up. I think it should be classy. I'm all in for the ties or turtleneck. So that's the two things I wear. I think it should be classy. I don't like sneakers with my suits. I don't think they fit really well. I like it more old school, more classy for sure.
You're throwing me under the bus right now. You don't like those?
No, those are Vans.
They are Vans.
You must have took a skateboard here.
I could have took the C bus. That's pretty close.
Any of your teammates in your league when it comes to fashion?
There's few guys. I mean, I think obviously there's a fashion icon in our league, Austin Matthews. He's doing all this JQ stuff. I'm not there. They're not promoting hitting G-Mans as the goal scorers. But I don't know. Pasternak's pretty good. I think Ullmark is good. There's few guys in the league I'm keeping an eye on pretty much, yeah.
Worst dresser on the team?
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. There's few guys kind of pushing the limits. It depends. It's just my opinion, right? So I'm not gonna share it. Maybe Niels Hollander a little bit.
Okay. You don't want to say, but it's
but he's from like, what is that, 300 people city, or not even, like 30 people village. So I mean, he's doing his best. You know, we're gonna help him. He's still a young kid.
Hey, listen, let us do the thrown under the bus for you. Assess this style for us.
Yeah, Petey has a different style, but it's European. It fits him. I think it's oversized. It's something new. If you look at NBA guys, they'll dress like that. So Petey's kind of in that category for sure.
Anna Forsyth asks Zadorov if he's considered giving tall man fashion advice to Myers, and if not, could he please?
Well, Myers got 3 kids. Too late to give the guy fashion advice, I feel like. And when you're a family man, you don't really care.
What do you make of some teams relaxing their dress code?
Well, it's only one, right? Arizona does it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it depends. I mean, sometimes maybe, but I feel like it's been so long in the game. I think it's kind of credit card of the NHL. That's when you dress good and then you play good. So I think that's the mentality you got to have all the time. I think it's super respectful. I remember watching the Don Cherry when he was talking about how like Team Canada dressed for the 2014 Olympics, and then he pointed on the guys, look at how sharp they dress and they're gonna play that way. So I kind of like had that in my head all the time. You know, if you dress super sharp and you respect the outfit, there's game's gonna respect you back.
You know, we're laughing about this, but you take fashion very seriously to the extent that I know you've been offended when you've been compared to other players, right?
Well, I mean, there's all those independent ratings coming in, and I don't know, in the Athletic, Barstool TSN, wherever. I don't know who does that, so I'm not sure about the person who does it. He has any fashionable degree or something he can, and it's based on taste as well. So I feel like I'm being a little bit undercover over there, you know.
Okay, listen, let's bring it back to this fantastic season the Canucks are having, of which you've been a part since the trade from Calgary. Dave.
Yeah, just the feeling that this group can accomplish what it wants. You guys have identified everything that you need as a team. You know what your team's going to be going forward because the trade deadline is behind you. Where do you see this team going?
Well, first of all, it's nice to be underdogs. I don't think anybody expect this team to be good this year compared to, I mean, not that good as we are right now. So we're definitely learning. There's a lot of young guys, and there's a lot of great leaders in this team who's pushing young guys. So I think that's the main mindset. I think our coaching stuff is unbelievable. They've been working with us every day on specific things, what can help us in the playoffs, can help us in the long run. So I think for us, it's just we come to the rink, we enjoy playing with each other, we enjoy working super hard, and we'll see what happens.
Perfect. Nikita, got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us tonight. Always good to have a player on who's not afraid to say what he thinks. Nikita Zadorov was our guest. Back to conclude proceedings in a moment.